You said earlier that the ICE agents under the orders of President Trump are a modern-day Gestapo. Do you realize how disgusting a phrase that is, considering the history of Nazi Germany? Would you like to recant that statement?
What I said, Congressman, and I have a long history of supporting law enforcement, I said President Trump was using them as his modern-day Gestapo, not identifying who you are, coming up in unmarked vans, taking people away and giving...
Is it the responsibility of ICE to actually deport illegal aliens in the United States who are here? Isn't that their responsibility?
Yes, it is, Congressman, except that the Constitution is not an inconvenience. It's not an either-or.
Nobody said an inconvenience. You have a responsibility to deport illegal aliens, and the president is going through that process right now. And let's be very clear, the previous administration, they abused every process there is under border laws to allow more than 10 million people into the country illegally. And this is a burden on all Americans. And so the president is doing his job. So it is sick to refer to Americans who are ICE agents as Gestapo. Governor, you're wrong. You need to apologize to these agents. They're doing their jobs. They are Americans. They serve this country with honor and decency and respect. Do not diminish their work simply because you tried to make a cheap point that you could tweet. I yield back.
Hey, can we do away with this sanctuary city, sanctuary state stuff? Can we do away with it at this point? It's got to be a done deal at this point. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot to get into. You guys got to see this clip that's coming up next. They finally caught the guy. They caught his behind. There's a full-fledged investigation going on. I was talking about it earlier this morning. It needs to happen. We need to understand who's the money behind this. Don't you find it funny that a lot of times law enforcement, when they start doing these investigations, they never want to follow the money? The money needs to be followed here. There is a trail. It needs to be followed. We need to get a full understanding of who is in charge of organizing this controlled chaos. Let's get into it. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already.
Today we execute a search warrant on the individual who was seen earlier this week distributing face shields to suspected rioters down in Los Angeles. We have made it a huge priority to try to identify, locate, and arrest those who are involved in organizing, supporting, funding, or facilitating these riots that they're going on. It appears they're well orchestrated and coordinated and well funded, so we want to understand who these people are and where this organization is coming from. And today was one of those first arrests, the key arrests that we did.
And when it comes to Los Angeles or other cities, if we see other cities are gearing up, and these people are agitators, they're paid, they're professionals, they're insurrectionists, they're troublemakers, they're all of those things. But I believe they're paid, and we're going to find out through Pam Bondi and her great staff, her great people at Justice, who they are. And Mike, I think you're doing some investigations in that in Congress, but we're going to find out who they are, because they're really, I think what they're doing is unbelievably illegal. Just one thing. So they took the bricks away from people. They're walking in with satchels of bricks. Now, why do you have bricks? You have bricks because you throw bricks. They're very potent. If they hit you, they kill you. And they took them away. The military took them away. They saw him. What the hell is the guy could hardly carry many bricks? He's a strong guy, couldn't carry him. And they saw that, and they took them away. Then they found others with bricks. But they're ingenious. They also brought hammers along, very heavy hammers. And I saw them pounding the curb and pounding the sidewalk. And it was like a military operation. This guy's pounding strong, boom, big shots. And it was breaking up granite, the granite curbs. And the granite was breaking up, and the concrete was breaking up, and there was lines of people standing there, and they're handing him. And then he stopped handing them. They just went down and picked him up. It was so professional. I said, that's a professional organization. This is not like people at random. This guy's breaking up because they couldn't use the bricks. So who would think of this even? Did a lot of damage. A lot of curbs are broken. A lot of sidewalks broken. But I never saw that before. That's one I haven't seen. I thought I saw it all. And they have it on tape. And with that, people get killed. You know, they go to the bridges and they drop the concrete off the top of the bridge with a car coming along at 70 miles an hour, and the person dies. And we had a lot of car problems. You saw that. They were all over the road. They were littered all over the road where the cars got stopped by concrete going through the front windshield. Now, these are bad people. If we didn't go, Los Angeles right now would be on fire. It would be a disaster. And we stopped it. And last night was very good. Nobody showed up. You know why they didn't show up? Because we were there. If it was just the police, because the police are great. I know those police, they're great, but they're told not to do anything. They're not allowed to act. Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, the police hands are tied out there in California, especially out there in LA. And the crazy thing about California, when you think about the destruction, I mean, you're talking, what, 5-6 days of, just protests and riots and just craziness, anarchy happening out there in California, specifically LA. Think about the amount of damage, the graffiti, like President Trump mentioned, they're breaking up concrete, they're breaking up sidewalks, they're breaking up, concrete pillars and things of that nature so they can create projectiles to throw, right? California right now is in a crazy deficit right now. They're saying projected $45 billion budget deficit right now, which followed last year's deficit of $32 billion. And in total, California's total debt right now, they have $140 billion in outstanding general obligations and lease revenues. I mean, it is insane how much debt the state of California is in right now. To be honest with you, my guy Billy Jack mentioned it earlier today. This state is in so much turmoil. You know what? Give it back to Mexico at this point. Let them have it and let them take the debt that comes along with it. Seriously. I mean, this is ridiculous. Goodness gracious. But you got to ask yourself, how are these people out here like this 5-6 days in a row? Don't y'all have jobs? Yeah. This is paid. This is organized chaos.
So ask yourself this question. How do you protest for 5 days, 6 now, right? Something like that. And you don't go to work? Where's this money coming from? How do you pay your bills?
Exactly.
Well, let me show you.
Got offered $200 a day to go protest ICE in New York. The organization was called No Kings. They said June 14th we're going to be protesting and these are the streets that you need to be on and this is what you need to do. You need to cause chaotic disruptions, and they said that there's going to be pallets of like bricks and different things everywhere that protesters could use. They really want to wreak havoc. It's kind of ridiculous. Me as an American, although I need the money, I'm like, this is very, very unpatriotic. If I was to go take this money and go protest, it's not very American. It's not what I stand for. It's obviously not even, worth the time. But, $200 a day is what they're paying people to go protest. The corruption is up here because it goes way beyond these organizations. They want to destroy America, and people like me that need money are gonna go do it. I'm not gonna go do it, but people are gonna go do it. They're gonna go destroy the city and cause chaos. It's just crazy that they're even paying people to go do this. It just goes to show that everything we deal with is corruption, and these people at the top level, like, who's paying for this? There's got to be some billionaires paying for this so that they could try to get Trump out or something. But $200.
Exactly. That's the $1 billion question right there. Who is funding this? Now think about this. $200. That's $25 an hour. If you're in California, that's probably not a lot of money. If you're on this side of things, it's probably not a lot of money. $25 an hour down south, oh, that's a heck of a whole lot of money. I mean, a lot of times the places in South, the minimum wage is still like $7 an hour. So if a person gets an opportunity to make $25 an hour, they're unemployed. Even if they don't care about the cause, they'll go get that bread. I mean, that's $200. If you protest and do this for a week, that's $1,000. Now, we've seen some Craigslist ads and things of that nature. Some people say it's real. Some people say it's false. Even this guy right here, we're not 100% sure, if this is legit or not. But I'm just saying, who is funding this? Who is piecing together pallets of cinder blocks? Who's, gave the guy that just got arrested that was giving out these bionic masks? Who funded that? Who funded it? Who gave this dude the bread to be able to do this? Where did it come from? This No Kings, this organization, who's behind that? That's putting that together and organizing that for this coming weekend. Who? We need to know. I need the FBI to get on this and start doing their job. We need a full investigation and we need to follow the money. Now, I want you guys to hear from your favorite representative, Maxine Waters. Oh my gosh, this lady, she's something else. She's gonna lie to your face. You're gonna see the craziness. She's gonna lie to your face, and then she's gonna blame Trump. Check this out.
And even those who were out of step with what we are advocating, peaceful protest, did not create any violence. Nobody was shot. Nobody was killed. Get it in your head. And so when martial law is called, what are you going to say? I missed the point. Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence. There was no violence. I was on the street. I know. And I went from downtown detention back out into the community, talking to people what happened in Paramount, what happened in Compton, what happened in Inglewood. So, first of all, get it straight. And don't just rely on what you're being told or the few incidents that you saw. And even those who were out of step with what we are advocating, peaceful protest, did not create any violence. Nobody was shot. Nobody was killed. Get it in your head. And so when martial law is called, what are you going to say? I missed the point. Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence. There was no violence.
Yeah, this lady's full of it, but I want you to see this next video here. Check this out.
The local police, he should talk to the people that he's had deployed there, and he has a responsibility in all of this. He started this. There should be no violence. He should not continue to support violence. They should not be edged on and, provoked in any way, and that's what the President of the United States is doing, to exert his power and to show that he's in charge and to show that he's going to get the numbers that he promised to get people deported. And
CNN, they lose credibility because if this was a Republican talking like this, whoever this lady is, and I'm not sure exactly who she is, she would have cut her off and pushed back big time. But because it's silly Maxine Waters, who honestly should be retired now, if I'm not mistaken, she's in her 80s. I think she's like 86 years old. And for 86, I'm not going to say she's not a bad looking woman for 86, but we definitely know she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and she needs to go take like 4 or 5 seats right now. Seriously. This is Trump's fault, really, for wanting to uphold the law, fulfilling a campaign promise. Really? People don't know how to behave themselves. The people that came over here illegally, waving flags of other nations. Really? But it's Trump's fault, huh? These people are ridiculous, man. That's why their credibility is shot. That's why CNN's credibility is shot. Mainstream media's credibility is shot. And that's why the Democrats, polling numbers is in the toilet right now, because you can't believe anything that comes out of these folks' mouth. They're not serious people. They're just not.
Work with law enforcement to enforce the law. In May 2020, looting, acts of violence, and arson occurred on your watch in Minneapolis after you refused to bring in the National Guard. Governor, your agenda is clear. Free health care, free college and driver's licenses for illegals while handcuffing law enforcement when they're trying to protect our citizens and their communities. If you think that's not a sanctuary state, you shouldn't be governor. By turning Minnesota into a magnet for illegals, you have opened up our communities to dangerous criminals, including known terrorists, gang members, murderers, and child predators. You have sent a resounding message that if you're a hardworking, law-abiding citizen of Minnesota, your safety and well-being are not the priorities of Tim Walz and his administration. But if you're coming to our state illegally, you're not only welcome with open arms, you're entitled to free stuff on the taxpayer's dime. This is absolutely disgraceful. Governor Walz, your sanctuary state agenda has been defined by your utter failure. You have failed to enforce the rule of law. You have failed to uphold our national sovereignty. And most importantly, you have failed the people of Minnesota. The time for radical sanctuary state policy, sir, is over. The voters made that clear last November when they elected President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. You remember him, don't you? Governor, the time for real leaders and real leadership is now. And with that, sir, actually, Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to introduce into the record the governor's tweet that I referenced from May 23rd, 2018, which makes it clear his hatred for federal law enforcement. Thank you.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes. Chair recognizes Mr. Mfume.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much.
Yeah, he needs to be smacked down. This dude wants to be president. This dude would run this nation into the ground just like what he's done up there in Minnesota. It wouldn't be a country that it wouldn't be a country that you could support with this dude in charge. We got to do everything that we can to keep these liberals from ever getting the type of power that they hope and dream for. You see what liberalism is doing in Europe. It is not good. You see what's happening. And what we know about Governor Walz, what we also know about Governor Newsom, and all of these, other Hochul, the list goes on. These people are, they're anti-America. They're anti what this country is supposed to be about. And it's unfortunate that these people are in positions of power running the country and running their states into the ground. And they care more about illegal immigrants than they do their own constituents who put them in the position that they currently hold today. It's just really, really unfortunate. But check this clip out here of your social media influencers who obviously have been given the script spewing the same exact nonsense. It's crazy. You know what's really sad about all of that is that they would say that we are the paid influencers. We're paid to believe and to speak the way that we do. And I mean, it's been debunked, one. But two, everything that they say that the right is doing, that conservatives are doing, or that we are doing, they're doing it all. They're doing it all. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Come join us at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. Come check us out Monday through Friday. Come check us out. Join the ARP family, or you can buy your man a coffee. That link's in the description box below if you'd like to support the channel financially. Appreciate the love, support. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp.